You know they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood. They do, Tucker. Stop staring at me like that.
You're freaking me out, man. Because you spent your life in the entertainment business, so I think you have some authority on this.
So many kids that I was in mental institutions with over the years, they are all from those cults. And they've covered it all up. They covered it all up. And, you know, I just pray to God. I'm just going to pray to God that he opens everybody's eyes in this country. By the time we go in to vote for Trump, that he will open up everybody's eyes and they will stop pretending to be asleep. You know what they say? You can't wake people up that are pretending to be asleep, but I pray to God, please wake up even those who are pretending to be asleep with the irrefutable truth of what the worst people on this planet are really up to. They are really up to that.
You may call them whatever you wish. The Order of the Quest, the Jason Society, the Roshaniya, the Kabbalah, the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, the Knights of Columbus, the Jesuit, the Mason, the ancient and mystical Order of Rosicrucians, the Illuminati, the Nazi Party, the Communist Party, the executive members of the Council on Foreign Relations, the Group, the Brotherhood of the Dragon, the Rosicrucians, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, the Open Friendly Secret Society of the Vatican, the Russell Trust, the Skull and Bones, the Scroll and Key, the Order. They are all the same and all work for the same ultimate goal, a new world order.
To understand that the deep state is above governments. The deep state essentially consists of the Rothschilds and the Vatican, including both the Black Pope and the White Pope, as well as the Chabad Jews. They use the Freemasons and the Knights of Malta at the highest levels as their fixers, and they use world banks as their managers. Most governments have two parties that are elected by 30% of the public. The other 70% of the public is disenfranchised. The politicians and the military leaders and the bankers at the national level are the best of the servant class. They comprise the shadow government, but they are not the deep state. They are the servants of the deep state.
Work and strive for money. Money is power. Money is the only weapon that the Jew has to defend himself with. Oh, never.
Come, he wants to speak with you. All of you. Come closer.
Much money is lost through sending gold by coach from one country to another. In times of war, it is seized by the enemy. In times of peace, by thieves. You are 5 brothers. I want you each to start a banking business in a different country. One to go and open a house in Paris, one in Vienna, one in London. Choose the most important centers. In your day, there will be many wars in Europe. And nations that have money to transport will come to the Rothschilds because it will be safe. You must stand by one another. No one brother must be allowed to fail while another brother succeeds. Your 5 banking houses may cover Europe, but you will be one firm, one family. The Rothschilds, who work always together.
And this is how they set up the power structure through 2 dynasties. Centuries of wealth, a hidden alliance shaping governments, wars, and economies. This isn't history, it's ongoing. There are two families that came with the global plan. The Rothschilds, the European banking dynasty dating back to the 1700s. The Rockefellers, the oil tycoons who rose to power in the U.S. during the 1800s. Together, they control banks, energy, media, and global institutions. Their influence spans nations and generations. Their concept is control oil, and you control nations. Control money, and you control the world.
These children are not just kidnapped and in some cases bred by families as a cash crop. We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them. And when they are sold, they come without birth certificates, which means it's easier to kill them and have no one ask where they are. We're also importing children by the plane load. Again, children who have no documentation. It's not just child slavery or child sex abuse. It's also child torture, because you have adrenalized blood. You have the whole blood drinking ceremony of the satanic world. It's also the use of children for harvesting body organs. And then you have ritual ceremonies and ritual murder, as well as incidental murder. Most organizations that end up being used to prey on children, Oxfam is a recent example, all of the United Nations organizations, the Boy Scouts of America, all of the child services agencies across the United States of America, they did not start out as organizations to prey on children, but they attract pedophiles. And ultimately, pedophiles end up rising in the ranks and controlling those organizations, so that an organization that initially started out in the service of children becomes an organization that is in fact hunting children.
The early connections that they had with each other in the late 1800s. John D. Rockefeller of Standard Oil, his empire was expanded globally with Rothschild banking capital. The Rothschild European banking networks helped Rockefeller penetrate foreign markets. This wasn't just finance. It was about forming a transatlantic power structure. While governments fought wars, the two families built empires together. Their big banking collaborations in the 1900s. The Rothschilds tied to J.P. Morgan, who often acted as their U.S. agent, linked their money to American markets. The Rockefellers' banking interests intertwined with these two networks, consolidating unseen control. They influence interest rates, currencies, and global debt structures. Central banks became tools, not to serve nations, but to serve the private dynasties.
Also in worshiping the devil, participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism. You come from generations of ritualistic abuse?
Yes, my family has an extensive family tree. It's gone back to like 1700.
Does everyone else think it's a nice Jewish family? From the outside, you appear to be a nice Jewish girl.
Definitely.
And you all are worshiping the devil inside the home?
Right. There's other Jewish families across the country. It's not just my own family. There would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to,
babies?
There were people who bred babies in their family. No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
Power. And so, were you ever used? Were you ever used yourself?
I was molested. I was raped several times.
What's your mother doing?
She's lives in the Chicago metropolitan area. She's on the Human Relations Commission of the town that she lives in, and she's an upstanding citizen. Nobody would suspect her.
The Federal Reserve banking system, that was their big power play. Both dynasties support the creation of the U.S. Federal Reserve, giving them indirect control over America's money supply. European Rothschild influences and Rockefeller's U.S. power merged in one banking system. Controlling a nation's currency means controlling its destiny. They also had oil, energy, and resource domination. Rockefeller Standard Oil controlled American energy markets, later split into Exxon and Chevron. The Rothschilds invested heavily in BP, British Petroleum, and other European oil giants. They quietly formed a global energy cartel, influencing prices and political outcomes. Nations dependent on oil became dependent on them.
New World Order, Mr. Rothschild? Right. New World Order? Depopulation?
Oh, listen, who are you...
Genocide?
Who are you televising for?
Well, we're independent
filmmakers.
But you have nothing to say, Mr. Rothschild.
Have a nice life, sir.
World War financing and influenced World War I and World War II. The Rothschilds financed European governments. Rockefeller supplied oils, arms, and materials. Wars aren't random, they are business models. Each war increased global debt and strengthened elite influence over all governments. Bretton Woods and global institutions in 1944, the families played roles in shaping the IMF and the World Bank, institutions lending to developing countries, nations trapped in debt, dependency, had to adopt policies beneficial to these power networks. Control the lending system, and you control the borrower's sovereignty. The 2012 merger making the alliance official was RIT Capital Partners Rothschild acquired a significant stake in the Rockefeller Financial Services. Generations of informal collaborations became a formalized global investment partnership. The merger wasn't about money. It was about solidifying centuries of shared influence into the modern era.
What do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population. Because if where we are, there's nothing else.
And do you have views about what should be done about that?
Can't you guess?
But in one way or another, we are so far, globally, we are so far above the population and the consumption levels which can be supported by this planet that I know in one way or another it's going to come back down. So I don't hope to avoid that. I hope that it can occur in a civil way.
We cannot hide away from human population growth because, you know, it underlies so many of the other problems. All these things we talk about wouldn't be a problem if there was the size of population that there was 500 years ago.
The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
We've got to stabilize the population. When I was born, there were
so what's wrong with the population? I mean,
with too many people. That's why we have global warming. We have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff. But if there were less people, they'd be using less stuff.
You brought up some issues that others are reluctant to bring up.
Always. All the religious groups are against me because I'm talking about population. They want more souls, I want less on the planet.
Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet. You are a plague, and we are the cure.
Influence over global corporations. Both families hold significant stakes in BlackRock, Vanguard, Big Pharma, Big Tech, and global media. These holding companies quietly own trillions in global assets. Your daily life, food, news, medicine, energy is all tied to their investments. The new frontiers are digital currencies and green energy. They are heavily invested in central bank digital currencies, also known as CBDCs, and green energy monopolies. These sectors will define the next era of global control.
Because a digital currency, and this is all accepted, this is not theory, is programmable. They can program a digital currency to mean you can only spend it on certain things and you can't spend it on others not designated by the government. And it's programmable so it can only be spent in a certain area. So if you go outside of your zone, your money won't work. And not only that, it means that when you go past one of these number plate cameras when you, quote, shouldn't, you won't be able to challenge the fine, because the fine will be taken out of your digital account the moment you transgress. This is what's happening. Now, these digital currencies are called central bank digital currencies, CBDCs.
Why? Whoever controls money and energy controls entire nations. The final truth: the Rothschild-Rockefeller alliance isn't about wealth anymore. It's about systems of control that outlive governments, wars, and even nations. Their influence is hidden in central banks, energy, tech, media, and global institutions. They've mastered the art of hiding in plain sight. Don't keep this truth to yourself. Spread it amongst everyone. Let everyone know this truth.
They have major programs, immunization programs, where they're poisoning us. You know, they're infecting us with stuff on purpose, and it's called population control. A lot of times people say, you're a conspiracy theorist, you watch too many movies or something like that, you know? But a lot of stuff I was learning was very real. I've been given guidance, you know what I mean? Supernatural guidance that people wouldn't even understand if I tried to talk to them about it, you know what I mean? It's a story that's told about this black shadows that attach themselves to people here on the earth, and they feed off of negativity, they feed off of anger. I said, oh, like that is real, and it showed itself to me. I was allowed to see it. There's a whole bunch of other, like, you know, freedom fighters and just people that's, you know, putting the truth out there to the world, and the FBI and the CIA have these covert operations where they stop them, they kill them, they assassinate them, or they assassinate their character.
2 weeks later, after conducting this interview, rapper Prodigy died in a hospital in Las Vegas, Nevada on June 20th, 2017. They claim that he died by choking on an egg. But no one really knows what really happened to Prodigy in that hospital after exposing the elites. If you haven't already, please like and share this video so we can get the truth out to the masses, so we can put a stop to all this corruption, this wickedness that's overtaking the planet. We have to rid ourselves of all these corrupt politicians, these corrupt celebrities, these corrupt execs. All these people are part of these secret societies who's planning to take us all down and to keep us enslaved in this global prison. We have to overcome this darkness.